worry, like I heard the mayor say that there are going to be a couple of new hotels that are going to be built in Tunkhannock, near
Right.
Tunkhannock. Do you ever worry that the newness of something like that might overshadow the old and the history and the antiquity of this place?
I kind of see it in a way as a good thing, because we need other facilities that are updated and modern for tourists to stay in. If they're going to come to the area, it's good to have a place that's modern and fresh for people to stay. Like when the train excursions leave Tunkhannock in the spring and the fall, you're riding on an ancient old steam train with the cars behind it for traveling, and you know, that's a great thing to do, but it's also nice to have a nice, fresh, new place you can stay at. And that's part of the entrepreneurialism, I think, of the future, helping out Tunkhannock. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I think, though, that the downtown needs to continue to remain the way it is. And I think store owners and owners of buildings should continue to keep the old facades and keep them the way they are, because that's what makes a historic small town what it is. It's keeping things as original as you can.
Well, being someone who was born and raised in Tunkhannock, you've seen some changes throughout your lifetime. Have they been dramatic changes, or has the attitude of the people changed? What kind of noticeable changes have you seen with the progression of time?
I think the interesting thing about Tunkhannock is that there are a lot of people that went to school here, were raised here, like myself, that actually decided to stay and make it home and create business here. Now, all of us, part of those generations, still have the values that we were raised with from the older generation. So that's why I think some of that still stays, because it was encouraged in us to keep that going, so to speak. But I think it continually needs to be fostered and encouraged, and it's up to people like us to help the younger generation appreciate what makes a small town historic and why it's good to preserve and continue to do that here. And I think as long as that happens, and we can contribute to that monetarily, emotionally, and with some good hard work, then there's no reason it can't stay that way.
What are your hopes for the future of Tunkhannock?
I would love to continue to see it grow in ways which will benefit the town and the community. The addition of the bypass brought Tunkhannock back to what I remember in the early 70s, late 60s. Well, late 60s, I was just a little baby, but into the 70s, I remember it like it's feeling more like that again. Our wonderful tree commission has planted all new beautiful trees. There have been grants to update all the sidewalks, to do flower boxes. Those seem like little things, but when you're out enjoying the town, they're big things. And there's young people involved with that too, which is nice. Because my father is part of that, and they recruit kids from the high school, and they were involved in digging the holes and making it possible to have beautiful, good tree-lined streets. So it's picking the right tree. It's getting kids involved and teaching them why it's the right tree to plant in a town. So we're passionate about all those things that beautify the town, and always want to support that through our entrepreneurial efforts, one way or another.
Now you have some wonderful treasures on your lap right now, and I was wondering if you can share them with us.
This postcard was one of my favorites, and actually we bought this, I think it was all the way out in California, but it's an actual red felt pennant that says Tunkhannock on it, and it says, if you'll come to Tunkhannock, you'll get a warm welcome, which that was true in 1911, and it's just as true today. But we've partnered up with Bob Lisa of Lisa Studios, and we had him blow that up for us so that it could be appreciated really as a work of art. And so it's been one of our favorites for that reason. There used to be an old metal bridge that went over the river, and this always intrigued me. This postcard, This also is mid-1900s, actually, but it was the old metal bridge, and there was a sign on the bridge. This always caught me. It says if you are caught riding, in other words, riding a bicycle, or if you were driving faster than you could ride a bike or walk, you got a $10 fine. So the whole idea was to drive or bike across the bridge no faster than you could walk. So that was always neat.
Today they just put slow up.
I don't know who patrolled that back in the day, but and this is an interesting one. The intersection of downtown, which is literally right outside this window, that shows dirt streets, horse and wagon, and right here on the corner is the hotel we're sitting in now. But I just, to see that with dirt streets and to see the beauty of it then, and to look now, reflect on what we have now, it still is beautiful, just a little updated. So it's nice that that's captured. And then we jump into the 1920s and 30s, and we have the downtown paved streets with Model Ts and other neat cars, people enjoying the streets, just like we see today. And then we jump forward a little further, 40s and 50s. They used to park along the street at an angle, kind of like you would see in Montrose today. But again, a nice snapshot of the downtown. And if you look at the buildings, they're all still here, you know, and they're all being cared for. It's nice to see that. Let's see, I thought there was one of the tannery, but anyway, the tannery, or not the tannery, but there was a witch hazel mill here, a factory, and this bottle was actually a product of that. There was a doctor by the name of A.B. Woodward, and he developed a thing called Witch of Roses. So this goes back late 1800s, early 1900s, and the witch hazel plant provided some of the ingredients for his Witch of Roses serum that he sold. And it's marked Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. So you're looking at over 100 years of history just in that. And we have old color ad cards from A.B. Woodward with a rose on it, which helped promote this Witch of Roses bottle and its contents.